Look at that big fat moon. It's so beautiful. Gonna be nice and bright tonight. You've heard of a sunrise? Well, there's a moonrise. Yay! So it's getting to be about evening. It is the evening. It's getting dark out. There's still a lot of blue in the sky. It's getting to be about a good time to burn things. It's not a great idea to burn during the day. People see the smoke and they panic, and most people run off their emotions, especially the more primitive emotions and feelings. And they don't really think things through. It's understandable to think, when you see smoke, there's probably fire. That doesn't mean you should immediately call 911 and the fucking National Guard. And do a little research, a little investigation, maybe do whatever. But, even emergency agencies, they have a tendency to overreact. So. But anyways, here's my debris pile. Looks kind of like a rat nest. Rat nest, you say? Well, that's what we got right here. I pulled this out of a rat nest. This is the actual nest beneath their stick pile that they build. And this came from this burlap sack. And that's going to be a great fire starter, which I have placed at the bottom. You can't really see it too much, but I've also placed some burlap sack as an igniter, something to start as a fire starter. And then my kindling goes right above that with the thicker parts up on top. And I'm gonna put some bigger branches like this up on top there as well. So this will, and I'm not compacting everything close together. I've got it fairly wide open space between here so that there's plenty of room for the oxygen to come in, the heat and gases to go away, so everything's being ventilated. The fire's breathing, in other words, taking in the oxygen. And I'm just gonna keep it nice and safe. Just start a small fire here, and that'll gradually burn across there. I don't want it all to ignite at once if possible. I don't have a lot of material here. It's all light. It's going to burn fairly fast. But you don't want it to burn too fast, because then when you burn too fast, you've got a lot of heat going on all at once. It's more sophisticated fire, I guess you could say. A lot of heat. All that heat going up at once is going to carry sparks and embers. Those embers are going to fall wherever, so you basically don't have control over it. This is a good thing to start. While there is a lot of light material in here, it is going to burn fairly hot and fast, but there's not a whole lot of it, so I'm going to keep things to a minimum. Just start a low fire here. I've got some tools to control any emergencies. I've got an extinguisher as well. And water is the best thing for this type of fire. But I've also been through the fire academy. I know how to fight a fire. I know how to control and manage a fire. So those are just some ideas and tips. And then as this burns, I'm going to add, just a couple branches here and there, and just keep things down to a minimum. Just a small, manageable flame. And then after everything burns down, I'm going to spread out the coals so that they have plenty of oxygen, so they're burning through. I'm going to spread everything out, let everything break down as much as possible. ultimately, you know, ideally, you don't want anything left behind except the white ash, and that's pretty much as far as wood is going to break down to that white ash. Something else I remember about fire, it has a tendency to leave a sort of an oily residue behind on the surface of the earth and whatnot. So that oily, waxy residue is gonna kind of protects against rain from washing things away, but at the same time it kind of it creates a problem. I think it might inhibit growth, so it's more difficult for things to grow. So as much as it may inhibit water flow or water penetration, at the same time, you know, it's going to be patchy, and it may actually cause landslides and whatnot, and a lot of erosion. But I bring that up because, you know, here I'm building this reservoir, and you know, I don't want my water collection, the water I collect, to just seep through the surface. So another idea is to you know, burn some things, get your ashes and coals, and that'll help keep your water in place as well. Also, if you have some charcoal and junk in your water, that's going to absorb things the same way as, you know, you ingest some charcoal, that'll absorb toxins and just everything in your digestive system, whether it's good or bad, it'll absorb that. And the same thing with water. That charcoal's gonna absorb stuff in the water too. But at the same time, you know, there's a possibility of contaminating the water. So unless you really know what's going on, don't mess with it too much, you know. So you can see